Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Count MRVHS with episode 5 of our 4th Age Total War North Rhun campaign. And we are striking a blow against the trespassers on our territory, the Chiefdom of Rhun, the larger Easterling power. And we are fighting this on the western extremity of the Iron Hills, which you'll see rising over to the right. And then if we got over on that hill and the weather was good, we could probably get a glimpse of the Lonely Mountain off in the distance. But we are basically encircling them. This is going to be, I think, a pretty quick little battle. We've got our chief's men here, 4 units strong of these mail-clad spear and club men. Very nice unit for us. We don't have any really strong cavalry apart from that. We've also got our front line, which is mostly, axes. We do have some of these spears of Rhun, a very nice unit. We're going to see the Barding Watch Levies swordsmen here play a bit of a role. We also have our typical axemen of Rhun, Dale Longbowmen mercenaries, some warband, and then we also have some great axes as well in the back. I don't think we're going to really need them though, because as you can see, the main lineup is pretty fur-clad. There is not a lot of armor to be dealt with here. We've got some skirmishers out front. I think there's maybe an archer unit over here too, or maybe it's just another skirmisher. And then otherwise it looks like all warband, apart from the general back here, the Chieftain's Guard unit. But we've got 3 of our own of the same type, 3 bodyguard units here. So, I mean, we could probably just rush this all with our cav. But we've got our archers, so let's use them. We'll hold back and see if they take this for very long. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look like they have much for archers. They've got 1 unit in the back here, and then this front line is all skirmishers. So they're going to soak up some of our arrows, which is fine. They're going to send some guys forward. We'll at least let this play out for a little while. I'd like to keep my army intact, of course. And then I think the goal for this is really just to see this army off. See if maybe we could get peace with Rhun. I'm kind of torn about this, because starting a war with Rhun is one thing. Finishing it, of course, is another. We're going to share a long border with them for a very long time, because it's going to take us a while to move down into their territory and really consolidate any gains that we do make. So I'm not really relishing sort of a lengthy campaign in the east. It's going to take us far away from our center now, which is, of course, Dale. And we're going to have to keep pressure on Dale, of course. Let's just war cry these axemen. Let's run up the swords. Let's see if the swords can do some stuff here. Alright, those skirmishers actually are not going to be a big deal. We'll just rush our warband. Yeah, you guys can come too. Let's get the cavalry running over. And our generals here, again, not going to play a huge role here. I think they are going to be, I guess they are going to be useful, of course, for surrounding and getting javelins in, but we've got our medium cav that I think is gonna do the most. Yeah, so we're just routing that right. Let's get a couple of our generals over here. Let's just get our other cav behind him. I think that'll get a lot of these guys routing, quite honestly. Let's just throw in there. I don't think we need to be too subtle about this, considering how fast that other unit routed. We did lose about 7 men on that charge, though, so maybe I should take it a little more seriously. See. Okay, we've got the general here, but he's surrounded by warband, so let's line up and get a proper charge, I guess. Yeah, there we go. The left is collapsing. Let's war cry with our great axes, I guess. And we've got, where's the other ones? Way back there, so that's good. I really don't want to risk them if it's not necessary, right? We've got the last warband routing. The general is going to be the last one to leave, probably. There's some skirmishers. We'll chase them. Otherwise, I think we're pretty good.
And drive them back in the same way.
A pretty classic little battle, I guess. We outnumbered them, we outmatched them man for man, so really not too surprising, but it had to be done lest they get up into the Berez Doom region and start to cause all sorts of problems for us, just logistically. So this means we can keep this army in the area, maybe send it west towards Dale, and then actually further west is sort of on the slate for today's episode. We're going to see if we can get over towards Framsburg. It may be a bit too much to ask for this one particular episode, but that's, the long-term goal is to get over there. Lost about 50 men in that fight, maybe not quite that many. But Framsburg, of course, is going to be important. This is the last outpost of Dale's territory. Now, I guess one danger in taking it is it potentially leaves us open to Adunabar, which does own some land further to the west on the other side of these mountains. And they and Dale typically spend a lot of time trying to get Mount Gundabad and the other orc holds in the region. They're pretty rebellious, though, so they have a hard time holding them. So we might be pretty safe to take Framsburg, and then just not worry too much about a reprisal. So this army here, let's see what we've got. This is our main force, and we do have a bunch of other troops here, right? But this is the main sort of field army. It's very effective, certainly as against the units that we're fighting currently. You can see Dorwinian looks like they want to get in on some action here, but I think we want to keep forces at Yodor. And since Dale is, kicking into gear again, I guess it's time to head back here. There's the heir, and I think the faction leader has forted up, and so he's basically inside that fort. We could trap him and take him out pretty easily, I think. So that's probably going to be the maneuver, unless something else presents itself. In terms of money, doing all right, making 5,000. And, got a little bit of a while before we start to get some of these, important buildings done. But actually, Western Wilderland, only 2 seasons left. So we'll be getting close to mannish troop production in this episode. And we've still got enough population that we should be able to, to train a decent amount of men out of that fort. All right, let's just halt it there then. And, yeah, okay, so that Dale army suddenly got a little bigger, and Dorwinian is going right for us. Interesting. I wonder if they're going to change their mind, because they just lost Holt. They did own this, and they just lost it, so it's very interesting. If we check the diplomacy here. Okay, so Dorwinian owns the Bjornings? Let's check that out. Wow, okay. Very interesting. So they lost Holt and then concluded an overlordship. Wow. So that's why they might feel safe now to attack me here, even though we don't really share much of a border. We do kind of right here. So maybe that's what the AI is going off of. We share a border with the player, even though, yes, there's no crossing here. But given that the AI has military access now through the Bjorning's territory, maybe they're going to feel like they can move up. That's fine, actually. If we have war with Dorwinian, this is a little alarming, right? I kind of want them to get big because it would be more fun than fighting Rhun. Honestly, Rhun is so similar to us. A lot of the battles are probably going to go like the last one did. But before we forget, let's get going on the next thing here. We don't have any growth yet here, no positive growth happening yet, so we will have to do a little bit more. So, market, I guess that's what that's going to be. Yeah, we're going to have to go with a market, which is going to help trade a tiny bit, and growth importantly. So we'll go with that, and then we'll get going on control posts so we can get something out of here. Hillman levies, not a fantastic unit, but something for garrison. And that means we can move out the Mountain Warband, which are going to be a little bit better in terms of combat effectiveness. So we're at war. We're at war with Dale. Do we want to move down here? Let's play dumb for a little while yet. And what are you? Are you the king? No, this is the king's heir. The king has moved out of this camp. And I think we've got a strong enough force here that if they move in to besiege us, either one of these armies, we could defeat it pretty handily. So let's just keep moving west. Let's go towards Hjorth.
Unable to move.
And we do have the option for another longbow merc, so I'll pick that up. And we may as well grab this fort, too, if they're going to leave it. So let's send you, a Barding Militia Levy unit, just over there to take it. And there's the King of Dale trying to hide in the woods. Let's queue up another Militia Levy. Let's check the stats, actually. Okay, they're identical, but there's more men in the Mountain Warband, and the cost effectiveness is much greater. We also get our combat bonus in snow, which these guys do not get, but the Barding Militia Levies are a little more disciplined, They do not charge without orders. And they can't swim. So that's interesting. And they're a bit better against horses. Their spears are a bit more anti-cav, I guess. Alright, let's train one of these guys. And let's see. I guess that's it for building. So we'll just see what they're going to do. Is Dorwinian going to hit us? No, they're going to move back. Okay, very good. Keep peace with them for a little while yet. I want to keep Burn around as a little buffer, right? Because I don't want to be fighting a big war on the south. And let's just keep our eyes on this. We've got to periodically check to make sure Rhun isn't going to send another force up there. But Erebor has finished Western Wilderland, so yeah, 5,000. Let's see. We do need to get some growth going, and we can do that with this, right? We should be able to. So 4 seasons, and we will have a tiny bit, half a percentage point of growth, and then we'll be able to build the control posts to get those hillman levies, and the next level as well. Okay, nothing really new. This army is turning, and let's just go to Hjorth. I guess right away. Let's just go right through the woods. I guess we could put it under siege. We're probably going to get hit in the back by the king. I mean, I guess we could hit him, right? We don't need to stand here and take it. Let's see. You're the ruler, and you are the Lord of Dale. I think I want to keep you here. You're an adept governor, so you're making us some money. But let's take all the cav, and we'll go and kill the leader of Dale here, the ruler of Dale. Hopefully, we do outnumber him quite a bit, but it's winter time, and I think we'll have to check the chief's men. Our bodyguard should get the combat bonus in the snow. I'm not sure about the chief's men. We are going to be fighting in some woods, but that's going to be just as bad for him as it is for us. So let's take a look here. Combat bonus in snow? No, we don't have it for the chief's men, but we do here. As you can see, the little pile of snow, sort of a visual indicator of what units get that combat bonus. All right, so I guess I'll keep you on skirmish, and we don't need to be too careful about this. Oh, that's right. We've got our little barding militia levies. Yeah, let's run them right over here. In fact, I don't know that they're going to make a difference, but we're just going to slowly approach. We're going to try to get them from 2 sides. Let's get a charge set up there, and let's get a charge set up here that could theoretically hit the king. And I'll get the general right in the middle. Not quite close enough to throw. Oh, okay. They're going for it. Shoot. Alright, sacrificial lamb, I guess, then. Alright, this is a bad charge. You can tell the lances are up, not down. So, let's pull them back out. Alright, let's charge our levies right in. Chief's men are losing heavily, but we are continuing to throw, and we've taken out about 10 of them. That's going to hurt their hit points. Alright, guys, get in position. Let's do a good charge this time. And I'm surprised that the Chief's men are still holding. Alright, now it's time to go, I think. There we go. We're going to get lowered lances now. Let's see, 25 men. We just started a rout on the other side, but that did a lot of damage. That took out 10, 15 or so of them. Alright, and we're going to get the levies in there too. There we go. Nice. Alright, we'll just end it there. We don't need to pursue them anymore. So the ruler is dead. That means we can assault next turn without interference. We did lose a lot of chief's men there, but that's what they're there for. They're very effective at killing enemy cav, so particularly those generals of Dale. But let's move them back, and I think we will be automatically retraining them anyway because it's on sort of this auto train. But let's go with some skirmishers, I guess. Something a little bit different. In Esgaroth, we can't train that much just yet. Let's go for another scout, though. And yes, I think that's it. We'll see what this army does. They may try to get back to Hjorth to support. Okay. They are going to go back to Burn, to fort up, which actually, this is very tempting. You know, I could take my armies out of Yodor and put this under siege and just wait a few turns. This is now the king. Well, let's see. We've got all this retraining and training done. Alright, yeah, I'm going to keep you right there. I think we want to do this. I think we want to take Hjorth. So let's definitely make that happen this turn. We've got all the rams we need. And inside, it's woodmen. Right? Woodmen spears, woodmen riders, woodmen bows, and woodmen axes. So the spears are definitely going to be, I think, the biggest problem in the city. They're a bit tougher than the axes. And of course, we've got, you know, some cav that we'll have to be careful. But we've got a couple of longbow units. We do have some good assault-style troops. And we've got the barding militia levy types that can help just kind of speed bump things a bit, slow down these woodmen. Dale's woodman roster is relatively cheap compared to their own Dale barding stuff. But it's correspondingly less strong, as you would imagine. Alright, I think I'm happy with this. We get the warband in the center. We get some axemen and swordsmen on the flanks. And then I'll just have you as a backup, honestly. The bows, though, we want kind of close so that we can get some firing immediately. Yeah, something like that. And in fact, I'm going to run you guys up just to be absolutely sure. And what else? Well, we've got these 3 javelin guys. We could bring them up a little closer. Take them off skirmish, though. And all the other infantry will just march up too. And man, we've got a lot of cav. A lot of very nice cav. Bring them right about there. Alright, so we are getting some shots in, taking out some of their woodman riders. Again, this is not the best that they have to offer, Dale. And this is very nice to be cutting down all of these guys, pushing them back from the walls just to make it that much easier. So I may not even want to ram those walls. Let's get the men there just in case they want to send some troops down to contest it. We've got plenty of arrows left, and we might just be able to get our guys in through the gate.
Our warriors attack. Now is the time for great deeds.
Yep, they are coming back. They've got some spears and axes just ready to go, but these are relatively beaten up units already. Yeah, and they're changing their mind back and forth. Alright, so we want our guys, like, really ready to go. So let's go with Spearmen of Rhun. I think this is going to be the best unit for us pretty much in this whole siege.
The gate is broken. Your warriors
Alright,
have done
they're going to
brave
come out
work with the
first.
battering ram.
They do have some bowmen over there, so that's a good target for our cav.
Warriors have taken the walls. Now
I think we can
the
go around the
streets
side
will
here.
run with blood.
Yeah, they got 2 units of bows. They got bows and riders. I mean, I think our chiefsmen could beat pretty much everything that they have at this point. Let's bring... Okay, yeah, you can drop your ram. Yeah, those bows are just totally unprotected. Let's go this way. Oh, okay. So they hit us on the flank there with their axes. Wasn't paying attention there. That's fine. And let's see. We're doing okay, though. We had, I think, 70 men at the start. A full unit of Spearmen of Rhun. But as you would expect, we're struggling a bit against these axe units. We've got our warband coming in to support. And if we can see off the archers... Let's see, they probably are going to bring some other units. Yeah, spears. That type of stuff. Oh, there was already a gap. I guess this was one that I made a long time ago. So they're guarding that with a spearman unit. Alright, they're losing heavily. Still got a bunch of spears. Alright, let's get a warband over here. And yeah, let's get our swordsmen coming in too. Alright, I'm going to throw you right at the woodman bows. And they are routing already. I don't think these guys really even engaged. The axes are being more stubborn than I would have expected, but they are wavering now. Alright, I guess we'll just hit him in the back. Yeah, there. That'll do it. Okay, 43 spearmen. I do want them to do, you know, a decent amount of this fighting. Because they are just stronger than the woodmen. Alright, all of these horses piling in here should break these bowmen. Just armed with axes as their melee weapon. So pretty soon here, 2019. Alright, well, let's do a war cry. Alright, and let's go. I don't know if that was really enough time to get the full effect of the war cry. But I think we're going to do just fine here. Yes, we're finally routing those bows. Let's come up to the top of the city here. We do have one spear unit inside. That's the only thing that's giving me a little bit of pause at the moment. So let's get the bowmen up there. We want to pull them out of the city. I guess we could do that with our lancers or our bodyguard units. Just get our infantry up there too. And they're gonna have to bring back that spear unit, or maybe that's what they're doing over there. Yeah, the woodman spears are moving around because they've noticed by now that the defense of the gate has collapsed. So they're gonna need to bring them back to the city. All right, take out those bows. Let's speed up the timer a bit. Get the bowman right up there. And yeah, I guess we can set the axemen and the spearmen just like that. That should be plenty. We are going to have, let's see, okay, we get a lot of cav right here. Let's get you over here in the way of those spears. Alright, we'll actually hit the watch levies. War cry, hit you. Already throwing javelins in. Alright, a little bit of pathfinding issues there as the Barding Watch levies are struggling to get over to the woodman spears, but it'll be fine. Wavering already, they're utterly tired. Our men are only winded. Despite running around quite a bit, it has to be said. Alright, but that'll be the end of them. Now I'm just waiting for the longbows. And that's really the only unit here. Maybe I'll bring the warband back, actually. I don't want to lose them. Alright, so this should be fine now. Okay, the longbowmen are going to arrive in a second. Make sure they got plenty of room. Alright, they're going right for the spears. They are going to do a decent amount of damage on that charge. This is a bit of an underrated unit, in my opinion. They do quite well. But not well enough. You know, their morale is pretty fragile. Their defense is fairly low. And we just keep playing this game where we pull them towards us. Okay, I should have watched for that. But it's going to be fine. Just don't get too far ahead. Get the spear support. War cry. Alright, there we go. And their spear just poked him in the back, so he's down. Alright, let's pull back here again. Alright, there's some more woodman riders coming in. We've got another full unit of spears. There will be a little bit of back and forth here. But if we pull back, and let's run out of the way. They are going to rout here pretty quick. Alright, we're out of arrows though, so I guess we gotta move in for the kill. Fine. You want to conclude it quickly, just because this back and forth in the square is not my favorite part, right? I like field battles, right? Field battles end in different ways. They tend to be a bit more varied than siege battles. Siege battles always come down to this little back and forth in the city center. And so if you can, pull them out, it doesn't have to be just this relentless grind. You can get them all routing at the same time and just end it. But, this is going to ultimately do the same thing. With a few more losses there, we lost about 60 or so men. That's actually not too bad. So we're going to get Hjorth, and this time I'd like to keep it. We'll see what the public order is. I think it'll probably be fine. The last time, I think just sacked it because we were on our way to Dale, right? We were not wanting to settle. But now that we've got ourselves established, yeah, for sure, we're going to occupy. There's nothing here to plunder. All right, but they've built provincial pacification for us, and we've got plenty of money to get started on Outland Dominion. That's going to bring us 300. It looks very impressive on the details scroll here, but it's only 300. And we're also going to get 50 of that taken out as a result of mismanagement. But let's just go ahead and rebuild that wooden palisade. We'll keep our troops there, and again, this is, somewhat a risk, I guess. So to counter that, let's go with a few more units here and there. Let's get one more spear unit up here. And in Dale, actually, we can build. So what do we want to build? Ooh, advanced tanneries and wool makers. So here's our armor bonus. So this is the continuation of the tanneries and wool makers building, the advanced tanneries and wool makers building. And this is available where you have the livestock resource. So anywhere you see the cow and the sheep. So this is also going to help us with trade, and that's going to give us about 100 and a little extra. It's going to cost us only 20 or so upkeep, so a pretty decent return, especially given the fact that we're also going to get stronger units out of there. And this is, however, the total extent of our recruitment. So when I say stronger units, that means we're going to get stronger chiefs men and, all this other rabble, essentially. But it's fine. It'll be, in some ways, you could say maybe it's more beneficial for the low-tier units to get a higher defense rating, right? Does that make sense? Than it is for the higher guys who already have super high armor. I don't know if that logically works out. I'm just wondering, relatively, is 1 point of armor upgrade worth more to someone who has an armor rating of 6 or someone who has an armor rating of 10? Maybe it's, in fact, the opposite way I should be looking at it. But anyway, Esgaroth is opened up for building. So I do want this to be a nice financial settlement. It's pretty safe. We're trading with the elves. So probably to help it with that, we want to go with our wineries. We can get into the wine industry. Right? Don't let anyone tell you you can't. So that's only going to make us like 60 or so. But let's do it. We may as well. Actually, I probably should have done some more training. But because we're going financial here, we're only going to be able to get up to this level, which is only going to get us our swordsman, which at some point I'm sure we will. But it doesn't feel very pressing just now. And Yodor, let's go with, geez, we kept the military, so we could get another place with chief's men. I think that might be wise. But maybe before we do that, let's go with tanneries and wool makers here as well, just to get a little bit of extra trade. It's not going to be much because as long as we're neighboring Dale, we're going to be not trading, of course, with that province. But Hjorth, let's see. Okay, so as we move through this territory, because we are going to be moving west at some point, we have to be careful because the elves do love to do this. They set up a little ambush right on the fringes of their territory. And if you walk through or near them, you can spring an ambush. So we do not want that to happen. Let's just sit tight, though, go for another turn or two. I mean, we're currently neutral with the elves, but it's certainly possible that they could declare war just as a result of some accidental trespassing or an actual an actual ambush on their part. Okay, Dorwinian seems to have just moved off totally, which is fine. Let's take that other spy though. We built one a long time ago. And we'll take, yeah, the one who is not yet established a network. We'll move you down to keep an eye on Holt, and we'll move you down to check out this province. Let's see, Thrimfeld, okay, and we'll just keep moving our guys down in that fashion. Alright, yes, they're trying for overlordship again. A lot of times that does precede an attack, like an actual attack of a settlement or something, but appears not to have in this case. But I do need to keep an eye over here. Okay, nothing seen. But Barrows-Doom has a market, and now it's growing, as we can see. Just 0.5%. Actually, no, this is 1%. That's great. Okay, so I could have sworn that when we last looked at this, it wasn't growing at all, and so we needed to do the market in order to get any training, like in order to get any growth. Regardless, we've got some now, so that's great news. Let's go for the control posts here. That's going to just get us our hillmen levies, but we've got all the infrastructure to go all the way up the military development chain. And the whole time we do that, we're going to be growing. So similarly, let's see, we're growing here. Ooh, so now we do have an interesting choice. Like, hillmen levies are fine, but we're going to have to build it up to the chief prov. Actually, no, we won't. Because, again, we only have three levels of military, so that means we don't need to go any higher than this. So the choice now is, do we want to start going right away on hillmen stuff, or do we want to work towards the economy? Because a construction charter, let's just see what we got in Erebor. We've definitely got, like, gems, right? Gemstones. So that's the precious materials charter. We've got gold as well. And let's see, the lands of Erebor. So that actually goes over here quite a ways. Let's just check the settlement details because I'm not seeing... Okay, trade summary scroll. Okay, imports and exports. So iron. All right. Gemstones, horses, gold, and livestock. So the construction charter must refer to the iron, which I can't quite see where that is being produced, but it might be like somewhere on the other side of the mountain model. Yeah, there it is, just tucked in behind there, some bars of iron. So if we do that, let's see what that would allow us to do. I think it gets us for, let's see, metalsmith workshops, right? So that can create tools and metal fittings to improve the speed of construction. So that might be handy. Gemstones are, of course, going to be really nice, right? Obviously, that'll be good for trade, and gold, we can also do some really good trade. So do we want economy or do we want speed of construction? Let's go speed of construction, right? Because we may capture some other dwarven settlements that that we want to crank up in terms of conversion to managed population and so on. And having a little bit of an advantage to the time of that conversion building is going to be really nice. That's going to require, I think, the second level of the metalsmith workshops, and I think it's global, or maybe not. Maybe that's only for the dwarves, but we'll see anyway. And this is also sort of taking a pause on training here, is allowing us to fill up our treasury again. Allfast the Hunter is now the attuned governor of Hjorth. And let's see, Erebor has done that construction charter. So let's see now what this does. Okay, increases speed of construction. Great. So that does it here. And we've got mines. Mines are already in place, so we've got what we need. And I think what that means is the second level of this would be a global construction speed effect. So this is actually going to hurt us a little bit. It's going to just cost upkeep. It's not going to give us anything, but it's only 20 points, or 20 Mirian. So I think that's very doable. Okay, the Bjornings now want an alliance. Ooh. And we're trading with them. Let's ask for some money. Let's ask for a single payment of 1,000. And let's see if they'll give us map info. They'll take it. All right. That map info isn't worth a whole lot, but it at least lets us know what side of the river they're on. Because they start with... I think all their settlements are on the east, really. But this shows us that they did go west and capture the Gladden Vales. So that's nice. They haven't yet taken the High Pass stronghold. It's also good to know. Oh, and we got peace. Ooh. I didn't know that was going to be such a powerful move on the Bjorning's part. That basically, wow, got us peace with everybody. Now, we'll see if that lasts. You know, maybe Dale's just going to hold out. Because, yeah, our only enemy now is Rhun. And if Dale honors the alliance, or the peace at any rate, we could just keep them next to us as a trading partner. I don't want any of their territory necessarily. And we can go back and take some of Rhune's territory. Ooh, this could be a very interesting move. So let's give this another couple of turns and to see if they're going to honor that. If they are, then fantastic. If not, you know, they may not. And then we'll just be right back where we were. And here comes an army of Rhun marching through Dale's and Dorwinian's territory. Yeah, Dale wants trade rights. All right. You know what? I'll go you one better. Let's first see if you'll pay. I will demand 1,000 Mirian from you. And I will also throw in and offer an alliance. No, okay. So we're still neutral. We're not trading. We probably should, though. So let's see. Do I have any emissaries around? We've got one in Yodor. And let's take him right out of here. Oh, we've actually got a bunch. All right, let's take you over to Bern, and let's try trade rights and 1,000 Mirian. I'm not gonna. Okay, they just want trade. You know, that's fine, I guess. Let's try alliance this time. No, okay. So it's not just the money side of things. They really just don't want to ally with us. I guess that makes sense. Okay, we've got Yodor and Esgaroth finished in terms of building, so let's queue those up and then return to this strategizing here. So another question is, do we want to convert, right? Do we want to start switching over from Ways of the West to Ways of Darkness? And I don't think so. There are some nice bonuses to these higher tier buildings in terms of experience and in terms of income. But I don't think we need it at this point. And I think the trouble of converting is going to be a lot more problematic. So currently in Esgaroth, for example, we're sitting at 105% public order. If we were to suddenly switch to the Ways of Darkness, that would cost us 100% public order right there, right? So that would not be sustainable unless we suddenly had a much larger garrison. And I just think it's just not going to be feasible to convert, at least these provinces, at least now. Maybe later we get a lot of family members who can convert. We get some neighboring provinces that are Ways of Darkness. We can start switching it back over, but I don't think we want to bother with it just yet. So maybe let's go with consultation, get the next level of financial buildings unlocked. And over here at Yodor, let's go with roads, actually. This is going to get us a little bit of trade. Cost us quite a hefty land tax, but it's also going to cut down some of that mismanagement. But roads, importantly, are going to allow us to hit over here if we want to. So that'll just be some dirt roads, not a big deal, but still potentially very useful. And so far, Dale is sitting tight. I guess the problem is that they don't really have anywhere to expand to. Right? I don't think they're at war with Dorwinian. Let's just check that, though. Yeah, well, they're not allied with them either. They're allied with the Bjornings. They're allied with the dwarves. They're at war with Rhun, and yet Rhun just completely disregards them and heads straight for me. So I think I want to get an army together and send it east. Okay, Reunited Kingdom has attacked Dorwinian, and that means Rohan and Dorwinian are also at war. Rohan and Rhun are no longer allies. Okay, we've got our Outland Dominion at Hjorth. That's good. That's going to help us a little bit more. So now we're up over 6,000 for profits per turn. Very nice there. And yeah, the population here is just spectacularly low. So it doesn't even make sense to build military stuff. We won't be able to train anyone yet. I guess we may as well go construction charter, because that's going to be timber, and that means we will be able to reduce the cost of those buildings that we do build. Jeez. So the problem with this is that Framsburg does have the potential to train some good units. I think they can make black spears. We can't really see what they have just yet, but yeah, okay, there we go. Black spears, Riders of Dale, these are good mail-clad units. And then they've got a lot of woodmen, and this is where they're going to get some family members too. I think this is a Framsburg guard unit, yeah. So it's a good unit, but when he dies, it's going to go away. I don't know if they'll train anymore either. And I think you are just just Dragon Slayers. Which obviously is the more dangerous unit, but still. So, in other words, I don't want to leave this Hjorth undefended. Right? But I also don't have anywhere I can train Axemen or Great Axes of Rhun or Spearmen of Rhun. Like, my roster now is Tier 1 and Chiefsmen. So, I'm going to have to keep that in mind. And I think that makes heading towards Rhun actually much more important. So let's get another spy. Let's train up another spy in Esgaroth. And I'll actually, why don't I take, I'll leave you there. You're doing stuff. I think that's fine. And we'll go with the financial policy there. And Berez Doom is all set. And then what we'll do with this spy is send it over into the east. We're going to locate some runic settlements. Oh my gosh, yeah, they're going to go right for Berez Doom. I thought they were going to go for Yodor. I'm not sure why I thought that. Do you have a family member here? He is seasoned, which means he may not be around for much longer. At least we can now train Hillman levies here. But let's get up to the next level. Hillman axe levies. If we get these guys, I'll feel, you know, a little bit better about our options. All right, so take our spy out of Esgaroth, the young guy that we just trained, and let's first see what this army is. Okay, and it's a lot better than the last one. So they've got at least some axemen, nothing else, but at least that. And we're going to send you over into the east. Berez Doom is done, and what else? Okay, Hjorth is done too. Let's then go with, right, the carpenters. So this is going to decrease construction costs. It's going to cost us a little bit, a tiny bit of upkeep, but really not a problem. And you know, I'm thinking actually, Dale may want to spend time attacking orcs. They're just going to attack rebel places, possibly. Like Gundabad Fortress. And then next to that is it, what is this? Angmar East. There's another orc hold over here. So Dale being surrounded by these places may be more tempted to go for them because they are at war with the rebels or not at war with me. All right. And you know, I'm not sure where this bigger army is all of a sudden. Did they fight with Rhun, I wonder? Well, let's see. That's 5 seasons. They can get here in probably 3. So that's not going to be time enough. I don't know that it makes sense to train a bunch of hillmen. Let's train 1 anyway. And I guess we're going to have to send some troops after them. Let's take a chance, I guess, and we'll get these chiefs' men. Okay, you're an expert governor, so as soon as the faction leader dies, you're going to take over, which is good. But I think we've got some expendable generals over here. So we'll take you, and all the other cav. Alright, bring him over there. And then we'll take, let's take all of you out of Dale. And I think that should be enough to deal with Rhun's army. So let's train a few more units there. Okay, accept overlordship. No thanks. Alright, where are they going? They're actually really not going anywhere, it looks like. Okay. So we'll get in position here. It looks like we've got fairly even numbers. They may outnumber us a little bit, but I'm pretty confident in my chief's men. We've got 6 of the units. We've got a couple bodyguards. You know, the other stuff is just really light, small warband stuff. I should probably meet up with the Yodor forces, which unfortunately can't reach this guy just yet, so we'll have to consolidate them next season. Alright, Erebor Metalsmith workshops are done. That is going to be reducing the time of construction. And here's a metalsmith's quarter, so we can make this immediately. Oh, this is going to be armor. Okay, so that's what it is. So the faction-wide construction speed buff is only available to the dwarves. But we get an armor boost. Because their dwarves' armors are already great. But, ooh, this is nice. Okay. And that's actually really good because... Alright, so let's now get going on control posts. So we can start towards those really nice dwarven levy-type units. And what about you? Grand Wineries. Let's see how much of a difference that's going to make. Alright, 988 to 1040. We're still not wonderful. But man, we can afford it, so let's just do it. Alright, yeah, they are going over. Alright, they will trade with us, but it's going to cost us dearly. Nah. How about actually we just counter and go for trade rights? Yeah, they'll take it. Make a ridiculous offer and... oh, shoot. Alright, well, that's the end of that. Oh, well, I was hoping that we would get the chance to freely deal with Rhun for a while, but that was probably too much to hope for. So we are at war with Dale, but interestingly, the Bjornings stuck with us. And let's just check out the dwarves. We're not at war with the dwarves anymore. In other words, we're still trading with them. So we're trading with Gundu Thorin from Erebor, and I think that's the only place we border dwarvish settlements. But yeah, the Iron Hills and the lands of Erebor both are trading with the Withered Heath. So that's cool. This is also a province we could eventually grab if we felt the need. I think this one is very low population, though, so probably not important. But we've still got the Bjornings as an ally, and Dorwinion has not gotten involved in this fight just yet. So that's great news. And now we have to make a decision, right? Do we go down to Yodor to help potentially relieve it, or do we head east to save Barriz-Dûm? I think Barriz-Dûm is the bigger concern. And so let's get in position. I don't want to attack this army yet. I'll do it when we get close. Maybe they'll hit us. But I think we can hold off Yodor, even though our troops are not great and they've got a lot of men. I think they've got a lot of low-tier stuff. So that is the risk I'm going to take here. Let's go ahead and, yeah, retrain because we've got all this armor bonus, right, that we just unlocked. And let's see what the next thing is that we can do. Animal fights. Yeah. You know, it might be good to go for a healer, actually, because otherwise we're not growing and we're just going to be draining the population. So it is going to cost us money, but it's also going to help the taxable side of things. So let's go with another Hillman levy unit. And we are attacked by a host of the Chieftain of Rhun. All right. So I think this will be the battle that we fight at the beginning of the next episode. We're going to see how well we do here. This is actually good because oh no, it's summer, unfortunately. So we won't get the snow bonus, but we will maybe get some nice ground, although it kind of looks like we're in a bit of a valley here. So we'll have to really depend on our cav. Fortunately, we've got 6 of them. Our mobility and just dancing around probably kill the general, and these axes are pretty easy to rout once that happens. But we'll have to hope that it all works together well. Then come down and defend Yodor. But that'll be the plan. So I guess our next moves are going to be maybe dealing with Dale, maybe forcing them into a secondary peace. I really don't want to take Burn because I don't want us to get openly at war with Dorwinion, but we'll have to see how things develop in the next episode. I'll see you then.